Hello guys, welcome to MJ Real Stories channel. Today we are diving into a moment so powerful, so emotional, and so unexpected that it left an entire room in silence and later shook millions of fans around the world. It was not during a concert with screaming crowds or under blinding stage lights. It was a quiet moment, almost ordinary on the surface. But what happened next turned it into one of the most unforgettable stories in Michael Jackson's life. A fan was given the chance to ask Michael Jackson just one question. No one expected that question, and absolutely no one expected Michael's answer. This happened during a fan meet and greet event in the late 1990s. Michael had always been known for his deep connection with fans. He didn't see them as strangers. He saw them as people who understood him when much of the world misunderstood him. The atmosphere in the room was calm, respectful, and emotional. Fans were nervous, some were crying, others could barely speak. For many of them, this was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. When it came time for questions, people asked what you would expect. Questions about music, dancing, future albums, and inspiration. Michael answered gently, smiling, sometimes laughing softly, always polite. Then a young fan stood up. Witnesses later said the fans' hands were shaking. You could hear the nervousness in their voice. They didn't ask about music. They didn't ask about fame. They didn't ask about awards or records. Instead, the fan looked straight at Michael and asked, "Michael, are you happy?" The room went completely silent. This was not a question people usually asked the King of Pop. It was simple, but it was heavy. You could feel the weight of it in the air. Michael did not answer right away. He stopped smiling. He looked down for a moment, as if the question had gone straight to his heart. Some people thought he might avoid it or give a generic answer. After all, celebrities are trained to say they're fine, that everything is great. But Michael Jackson was never just another celebrity. He took a deep breath and looked back up at the fan. His eyes, according to those present, were already filled with emotion. Michael began to speak slowly. He said that happiness is a complicated thing. He explained that from the outside, people see the fame, the success, the money, and the love from fans, and they assume that must mean happiness. But he said happiness is not something you automatically get when you become famous. He said sometimes, the more famous you are, the lonelier you can feel. The room remained silent, every single person listening carefully. He went on to say that there were moments when he felt truly happy. Moments when he was on stage and felt the energy of the crowd. Moments when he was creating music late at night, lost in creativity. Moments when he was with children, laughing, playing, and feeling pure innocence. But then his voice changed slightly, and he admitted that there were also many moments when he felt deeply sad. Michael explained that he felt like his childhood was taken from him. While other kids were playing, he was rehearsing. While others were going to school dances, he was performing on world stages. He said he loved music, but he wished he could have experienced life as a normal child, even just for a little while. Many people in the room began to cry as they realized how much pain he had carried quietly for so many years. Then came the part that truly shocked everyone. Michael said that sometimes he felt happiest when people were not watching him. He said the cameras, the rumors, and the constant judgment made it hard to breathe. He said he felt like the world didn't see him as a human being anymore, but as an object, a headline, or a story to be sold. He admitted that this hurt him deeply, more than people could imagine. The fan who asked the question was crying openly now, as were many others. Michael noticed this and gently smiled again. He said that despite everything, he still believed in love. He said the love he felt from true fans, the ones who cared about him as a person, not just as an entertainer, gave him strength. He said that moments like this, where someone asked him how he truly felt instead of what he had achieved, meant more to him than any award. Michael then turned the question around in an unexpected way. He looked at the fan and asked, "Are you happy?" The fan was shocked and could barely respond. This moment reminded everyone that Michael Jackson, despite being the most famous person on the planet, still cared deeply about others. He listened as the fan answered, and he nodded, fully present, fully human. He went on to say that happiness, for him, came in small, quiet moments, watching movies alone, walking around his home at night when everything was silent, writing poetry that no one else would ever read. He said happiness wasn't about being on top of the charts, it was about feeling understood and accepted. This honesty stunned everyone in the room. No PR answer, no mask, just truth. People later said that this answer changed how they saw Michael Jackson forever. He wasn't just the king of pop. He was a sensitive soul who felt deeply, loved deeply, and hurt deeply. The question that seemed so simple had opened a door into his inner world that very few had ever seen. After the event, the story spread quietly at first, through fans who were there. Over time, it became one of those legendary moments people whispered about. Many fans said it made them more protective of Michael, more understanding of his struggles, and more appreciative of his vulnerability. It reminded them that behind the glittering glove and the iconic moves was a man who just wanted to be happy like everyone else. Years later, after Michael's passing, this story took on even deeper meaning. Fans replayed his words in their minds and wondered how much pain he had endured silently. Many said they wished the world had listened more carefully to him when he was alive. That question, "Are you happy?" became almost haunting because it revealed a truth that fame could never hide. Michael's answer shocked everyone not because it was dramatic, but because it was honest. In a world of fake smiles and rehearsed lines, he chose vulnerability. He chose to speak from the heart, and that is why this moment remains unforgettable. It showed the real Michael Jackson, not the superstar, but the human being. So the next time you watch Michael dance effortlessly across a stage or hear his voice fill a room, remember this story. Remember that behind the magic was a man searching for happiness, connection, and peace. And maybe, in sharing his truth that day, he found a small piece of that happiness, even if just for a moment. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey into one of Michael Jackson's most touching moments. If this story moved you, take a moment to reflect on the people you admire and remember that they too are human. And as always, keep the love alive, keep the music playing, and thanks for watching.